talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to ride. With Amora, spilling all the tea. Coming to you live each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe. Coming to you live each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe. Like and subscribe. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe. Coming to you live each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe.
Hey y'all, I am here, honey. I am here. 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 Listen. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Thumbs up if y'all can hear me, baby. She said, "Hey y'all, I'm on episode 16. You are episode 16. Well, girl, this might be boring to you. This might be boring to you. We are about to break down. You know, first of all, hello to everybody. Hey to my members, all my subscribers, my members, my top sponsors, my moderators. Hey, y'all. I hope y'all doing good. Listen, Felicia is live talking about DV on her channel. We both already talked. And we both agreed that, we're going to be bouncing back and forth or whatever, because we're going to do a live reaction, okay? Meaning that we're going to watch this story. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I haven't seen not one episode. Who else in there? Who else is with me? Have not seen not one episode. Who with me? Who with me? Am I the only one that has not seen? Hey, Jazzy. Hey, girl. Am I the only one who has not seen not one episode? Not one. She said, me neither. I have not. I have no. Listen, only by the title can I imagine what this is about, but I have no idea. I don't know what the rapping and raving is about this series, but everybody's like, oh my God, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. So we're gonna watch it together, okay? We're gonna break this down, but today is just gonna be, oh, I should have put that on there. Hold on, let me change it right quick, because this just gonna be who the F did I get married? You know what? I'm gonna change it once I'm done, because I'm gonna say 1 through 15, but we might not make it through 15 today. We might only make it to 5, or I don't know how long they are. So, but whatever we stop at, we're gonna start tomorrow on the next one, okay? So if we do 1 through 15 today, we're gonna start 16 tomorrow. I heard it was like 50 something series. It's a lot. So let's find out what's going on. Apparently, this young lady came to her Tik ToK and started venting about her ex-husband. She said he was a pathological liar. You know them kind. Honey. You know there's something out there, honey. You know they will tell you anything. But I think she did this series to try to wake people up a little bit and get them to check out the person that you with. You got to do some background checks and stuff like that or whatever. You can't just be up and marrying just any old body, okay? She said, I watched the reaction video on Facebook. You did, girl. Well, anyway, we are between Facebook and YouTube right now, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all thumbs up, like this video. Thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, hit the thumbs up, the love button, hit some hearts or whatever. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you thumbs up this video for me, please, okay? She said, there's 50 something or more. Yes, it's 50 something. I heard it was 50 something. So we're going to start again. I have not watched this. It's going to be a live reaction, honey. So, if she says some good shit and I want to stop and talk about it, I will, okay? I know y'all ain't seen me in a while. I call myself trying to let my hair grow, and then I was going to bust out with some twisties. But y'all, girl, I'm already thinking about cutting this hair off already, honey. I'm trying to hang in there. Lord knows I am, honey. I need to go to the nail shop, too. I call myself paint my own nails. Look at this. This is what you can't do, child. Just go on and go to the nail shop and stop playing. But, every now and again, I give my nails a break, because I do the gel nails. And I call myself giving myself a break. But I'm already ready to go and, child, get them Asians all my money. You hear me? All my money, okay? I just can't do it. She said her ex is crazy. Girl, we all got a few of us got some crazy exes, okay? Some crazy lying ass exes, honey. Some of these jokers are just liars. Just liars for no reason. Liars, honey. So anyway, for those that are watching Felicia's live, and if you want to come back and check this live out later, feel free to do so. You're not being held hostage. You can go watch Felicia's DV. And you can come back and watch this later, honey. It'll be posted on the page or vice versa, okay? But I definitely want to go ahead and start this series. Sorry about being late, but, a couple of things happened earlier. And, yeah, so there we are. So anyway, she said, I watched all parts. Woo, child. You watched it all, Rachel. Rachel, you watched the whole thing. OMG, girl. You didn't watch it all? She said, let it grow. It's cute. Girl, I'm already, child. Listen, we'll see. My hair's thick, child. I ain't got no thin hair, honey. No thin hair. No, I do not have thin hair, baby. You hear me? Thick, I got some nuckle hair. I got some nuckle hair. She said, hashtag liars, honey. Hashtag liars. She said, stop playing no more. I did it too, but I said, get this money for these nails, hair, and whatever else. Girl, LaShonda, they getting my money tomorrow. You hear me? They getting it tomorrow. You hear me? So I see some of y'all on Facebook. If y'all want to run over here to if y'all on Facebook, y'all can feel free to give me some stars during this broadcast. And if you are on YouTube, y'all know y'all can drop a girl a super chat, a super sticker, and or even a cash app, honey. Let me go and put that up here. But listen, and then anyway, we'll talk about that another day because we was having a conversation today about how when we first started, I didn't even know what a super chat, super sticker, or none of that meant, honey. We came a long way, haven't we? But this is being broadcast between two, Facebook and YouTube, okay? So anyway, let's start the show, y'all. Let's start the show. Let's find out what's really going on. I think her name is Reese. Hold on. What is the young lady name? Hold on. Her name is it Reese? Reese Teesa. Reesa Teesa. I think that's what it is. And apparently they didn't found the husband, honey, because he didn't say he coming out doing his own series too, baby. He said he coming out and he gonna tell his truth too. He said, oh, you gonna make some money off of our relationship? Okay, you just wait, honey. Look, we all should start putting parts and series together of our ex relationships. Okay, let's make this money together. Why not? We tell our friends, we tell people that we run into all the time about the hell we done been through. Why not take it to TikTok, baby? Why not go to TikTok and say, let me tell you, this joker told me. Hey, we all got some stories, right? She said, I finished all the parts today. Damn, Tia, you finished it today? Wow, here we go, y'all. Let's start watching this. Now, again, I have no idea what this girl about to talk about. I can only imagine she's about to talk about him being a pathological liar because that's what I read. But as far as how he lied, what he lied about, why he lied, I have no idea, honey. Y'all know it's some lying ass mofos out here in these streets, honey. But here we go, y'all. Y'all got y'all popcorn. Let me know. Do y'all have y'all popcorn, Coca-Cola? Got my H2O, baby, honey. I got 2 bottles of H2O. And my husband is baking me some cookies, honey. My husband said he won't be fat and plump, child. I'm trying to lose a few pounds. Look, I'm trying to lose a few, honey. I'm trying to lose a few, honey. Oh, y'all can't even see me. I don't know why this thing is don't allow it. I don't know, honey. But anyway, I'm trying to lose a few, honey. I'm trying to lose a few, but he said he won't be fat and plump. So we're gonna see about it. We're gonna see about it, child. We're gonna see. But I'm gonna eat these cookies. I'm gonna eat these cookies. Okay, here we go, y'all. Y'all got everything you need. She said, more your mouth will be on the floor. That man ain't shit. Whoa! Wait a minute. Is he the worst we've ever seen? Because you know we done seen some badass, we done seen some worse shit out here in these streets. Is he that bad, girl? All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Hi, and welcome. We all know why you're here.
Run up your
You're
volume.
here for part of the new series that I'm calling Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I'm going to create this playlist series, and I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced a real pathological liar.
She said
This is my introduction / disclaimer video. First and foremost, I'm going to be truthful, even if it makes me look bad. I'm going to be honest, but I'm also not going to be disrespectful to anyone that was involved. I'm not going to use people's real names because I don't have their permission to do so. And
somebody said, "Is that Joffy?" Girl, that's supposed to be the husband, honey. They didn't. His name is Jerome, child. They done looked up the man name, and she never said his name, but honey, he didn't came out and said, "It's me she talking about," and I don't appreciate it because she messing up my money, honey. It's people at his job saying, "Dude, is that you?" He said it is affecting his coins. Okay.
the sister does not want any sort of litigation. I will tell you off the top, I have a sense of humor and I have sarcasm. So things that you see me laughing at, none of this is funny. But in order to get through it, I have to laugh.
Thank you, Cheryl.
If I cry, I cry. I'm human. I'm a woman. This was traumatic. I'm going to do the best I can to upload as much of the story as I can, because I know people get so annoyed with the follow for part 4, follow me for part 17. I'm just going to do the best I can to keep uploading the videos each at a time. I'm going to go in order from the time we met until the time I got our divorce decree in the mail. So that is a lot of time to cover. Please give me the grace to just get it out. It may not be all in one day. It may not be all in 2 days. But what I can tell you is even if you don't necessarily see a video, I'm probably recording it and then I will upload it into the playlist titled, Who the Fuck Did I Marry? What else do I need to cover ahead of time? Because I feel like this video is important to give some sort of context. So that way when people jump into the series, they kind of can figure out, oh, let me start at the introduction video and then work my way through. A lot of the questions that you all have sent me will be answered when I start and tell the story in order. Everything I'm going to tell you can be verified. There are people in my life who can easily verify, yes, this did happen. Yes, he really did do that. Yes, he said that. Yes, she did go through that. I have no contact whatsoever with my ex-husband in any way, shape, or form. We do not communicate. We do not have mutual friends or anything where we communicate through those people. No contact.
Miss Yaya, I heard that too. Miss Yaya said, let me put it up here, y'all. She said, they said she stole somebody's name, Larry's story, and made it her own. I heard that too, but let's just listen because we don't know if that's true or not. People can come and say anything. Let me get this bitch out. I'm sorry. Let's get this person out. I don't know who you are, Susie, but that ain't what we do here, sweetheart. You got to go. You got to go. Don't do that. Don't spam my chat with your business or anything like that, okay? Because that ain't gonna work for me. That ain't gonna work for me. Okay. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, y'all.
Cannot stress that enough because I feel like somebody's gonna ask me, do you still talk to him? No. I ain't seen him. I ain't heard from him. I don't want to hear from him. And I will tell the entire story up until the last time I did hear from him and what happened. Yeah, this is my story. So, I am just a regular woman who thought she met the one, and I didn't. Most people have never came in contact with a pathological liar. We typically come in contact with like a compulsive liar. It is not the same. A pathological liar has no reason for why they lie. And the lies that they make up, there's no limit to the lie. I was once a psychology major in undergrad. I didn't graduate with a psychology degree, but I'm very comfortable saying that he was a pathological liar. He was a narcissist. And yes, there was some in my opinion, mental health issues going on. pathological lying part, absolutely. So I want to preface all this by saying, you're going to probably think, what in the world? There's no way this happened. Everything you're going to hear me say actually did happen. I never thought I was going to be in some sort of Lifetime movie, but I was. So I will read the comments as best I can. Like I said, I think if you allow me to tell the whole story, things will be answered. And sorry, I do talk with my hands. It's a coping mechanism. So if you're like, why is she moving her hands? Other than that, let's all take a deep breath. Buckle in.
Buckle in, y'all.
This was a fucking crazy ride. And if you think it's crazy, imagine how I feel as the person who lived it and had no idea what I was dealing with. I thought I knew, but I truly had no idea who the fuck I married. You like how to listen to that? Anyway. All right, y'all. This is the introduction, so welcome. Part 1 will be up shortly.
Okay, so during each one,
Please excuse the hair.
I did like a little small break or whatever, just just in case you guys have questions or whatever. So listen, we're about to get into it. She did like a little introduction. She already basically saying she's about to go on a rant about her ex-husband. Okay, we have to listen to what she has to say. I know a lot of y'all saying, oh, but they said this was his ex-wife's story or somebody else's story, and she just stole somebody else's story. I mean, you got to be a pretty weird person to steal somebody's story to the T. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if I believe that, but let's just see, because I don't know what she's going to say. So I see somebody say she ignored a lot of red flags. If I hear any red flags, I'm going to stop it and say, like, what the? Y'all will see my facial expressions, okay? All right, sometimes I'm going to have my camera on. Sometimes I'm going to have my camera off. I hope I'm not smacking too loud, y'all. Anyway, here we go. She said, I believe her story. Somebody else said, I believe it too. Okay, let's go, y'all. Turn your volumes up.
But here is part 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under 2 different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag.
Hell yeah, red flag to hell. And he admitted it. He literally said, you ain't even realize that we matched on both. I was just catfishing you on one of them. Like, really, dude? Red flag.
By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, you know, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL, I know about college, go Dogs, but I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, you know, like, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football. And I believe I did tell him that I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, you know, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing and they're helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house. Ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, you know, that's great. You know, you're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work and, you know, this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me.
That's a red flag right there, honey, because when men be talking, child, you better hush up and listen, because men that talk, they telling you something, you got to hush up and listen, child. Most men don't be running their mouth like that, but when they run in their mouth, a lot of it is lies.
He eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th, 2020. He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, you know, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures, because, you know, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out.
Oh, wow.
So I called him and I said, hey, I am so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station. And I said, you know, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet. And he was like, you know, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pin. So I dropped the pin. And he came to the gas station. Came to the gas station. Got out the car. And I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures that I was like, oh my God, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Okay.
Also,
I said that was a sign.
I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had 2 children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20. And he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids. but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia.
Another red flag. Mofos is always telling you that they ex cheated. Red flag, red flag, red flag, honey. They always use that as an excuse. Always, honey. Always.
Was a new beginning for him. She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, you know, he was like, there's no, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation was, we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, you know, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world.
I know.
And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner.
Now, y'all, he would have got me on the changing of the tire, honey. He might have got some that night. I love a man that works, especially uses hands, honey. I probably would have had to give him some. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it a buck, y'all. I'm just keeping it a buck. Especially if he got dirty and sweaty doing it. Woo! Child.
You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely
He paid for it. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. Because now we're talking about something else. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this is just this. Oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies. And we go in, there's a long wait. And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, you know, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man.
Love bomb. Love bomb. Can we say love bomb? Love bomb. Love bomb. Love bomb. He love bombing her, y'all.
And I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real, because the first time, you know, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so
that's exactly what love bombing is. Tell you what you want to hear, reel your ass in, baby. Changing ties, paying for it, telling you what he wants, holding your hand, he reeling you in. Ooh, girl. Now, if he opened the door and pulled out the chair, I'm going to fall out in this chair. You hear me? I'm going to fall out in this chair. Okay.
He was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part 1.
Wow. Okay, y'all. Look. Woo, honey. She said, girl, you got me cracking up at work. Oh, she said, big time love bomb. Yes. All these red flags. Yes. She says, want that sympathy. She said, I'm watching you and Felicia tonight. Yeah, girl, listen. You might have to bounce back between the two, honey. You might have to bounce back between the two, child. Listen, I'm already seeing red flags, y'all. I'm already seeing some love bombing, honey. He coming off real strong to have already been married before. He don't even know this lady. She don't even know him. He coming off real strong. Real strong, y'all. Let's find out what happened in part 2. Here we go.
All right, who the fuck did I marry? Part 2. So we both put on the table what it is that we wanted. We both had established we were dating for marriage. We were not dating just to date. We were not trying to be friends with benefits and none of that. So the dinner at Cheesecake Factory went really well. We laughed, we joked, we talked about people, which is kind of up my alley, my sense of humor. It was a good vibe. So at the end of the date, or excuse me, at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I don't know the name of the song. By the time this video posts, I will put the name at the bottom. I can't remember the song. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh my God. So anyway, we ended up sitting in the car talking.
See, that type of stuff would actually scare me. I would actually notice, I'd be like, this is kind of a little creepy. That too good to be true shit sometimes is too good to be damn true. Okay? That scared me a little bit. I would have listened to the song, I would have been like, wait a minute, what is going on? Especially met him online, you this guy ain't gonna perfect, and you couldn't swoop somebody up, and your wife cheated on you? For what? Why she cheat? What's wrong with you, brother?
Just about life and experiences until about midnight. So during this conversation, he again is telling me how it was, what it was like living in California, how he went out there, he went to San Diego State, he played football for San Diego State. He talked about how, life, he loved it out there, so he stayed. And then he explained that he also did arena football, but only did it for about 2 or 3 years. He claims that while he was doing arena football, the team that he was on won a championship. But again, keep in mind, I don't know anything about arena football. So I was like, okay, I didn't know that they had championships. And he was like, he got a little offended, like, yeah, they got championships. And, he was on that team. So he talked to me about how he worked at Apple. He worked something in the IT area of Apple, but it within the store. Again, it was one of those, it's like when I tell people I used to work at Amazon. I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Why? So we talked about all that. We talked deeply into what happened with the ex-wife. It's because I asked. He was not volunteering all this information. So in other words, I get very uncomfortable when men start talking about their ex a lot. That's not what happened. I was asking questions because I was really trying to figure out, okay, are you ready for a relationship, or are you still missing her? So we talked about that. We talked about my exes. That was a mistake I made because
Yes, I was getting ready to say mistake. I don't even really think that they're they're ex for a reason. I'm not, at my age now, I don't want to hear nothing about your ex. If it's over, it's over. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't got to go down memory lane explaining what happened to your ex. So anyway, she said it was a mistake. I don't think that she should have been asking him, and I don't think that she should have been telling him anything about her ex. Okay, but anyway, let's carry on.
I talked about how I dated at one point in time somebody I worked with. That will come back later. And he seemed real cool about it. He was like, that was before me and blah, blah, blah. So the conversation was good. Midnight comes and I go home. Yes, I went home. We ended up talking. Mind you, our first date was March 7th. And within about 2.5 weeks, Brian Kemp, our governor, shut Georgia down. We were going to be on lockdown. So during those 2.5 weeks, we talked every day. We went out again at Red Lobster. I remember Red Lobster. But everything was going great. The issue was, where are we going to quarantine? So the question was, are we going to quarantine at his place, which he had like a studio type of situation. Like, it clearly, where he was staying, I was like, it's like a studio apartment, but he kept telling me like, this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like, he showed me the email from a woman who worked at the company, where she was out on maternity leave, but she was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find a townhome or a single family house. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely temporary. Like, he's not trying to stay here long term. And she was apologizing in the email. I'm so sorry, this should have been taken care of before you got here, but it wasn't. I saw the email. I read it. I read the email. So the decision was, we're going to quarantine at the studio, or we're going to quarantine in my house? First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot, but this was a mistake I made. So ladies, caution moment. During one of our dates, because keep in mind, in those 2 weeks, we were seeing each other quite a bit. Nothing physical or anything like that. Just two people who I thought were really on some, all right, let's see if this is going to grow into something. He came to my house. When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome. He was in a studio. Now, I'm telling you guys all of this in order of how it happened. So some things I'm probably going to insert what I was thinking and the mistake I made. Can I turn this off? No. Okay, I still need that. And I say that to say that I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little.
That's why you got to be careful with telling a man what you have, flaunting your money, your cars, your job, how much you make, your house, and all that stuff. Especially, they still in month 1 or something like that. Like, you can't be telling a man that you got it going on and that you don't need him for shit, honey. Because some men will try to swoop in and take advantage of that. Okay. Here we go. She made some mistakes. She already said it though, but here we go.
Studio. Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here. The decision was made, quarantine at my house. So the state went on lockdown. He came and stayed.
Tim said he was a tax time boyfriend. They got married, Tim, honey. He popped the question, baby. I think they got married. I think she said they got married. Let's just see.
With me, in my home, and
oh yeah, it says who the fuck did I marry? So they got married.
For the most part, in the initial beginning, it was fine. It was fine. The reason why I hesitate is because I grew up in the church. So for me, it was really like an internal struggle of, bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband. And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you the way I grew up. It was like that. It was not sitting right with me. But at the same time, I didn't want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to. So there we go. So he moved in. We talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video.
Moved in. moved in, honey. He could have quarantined at his own damn house and came and saw you. Like, what? Should this man move in? Oh my God.
Video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000.
Wait a minute though. He came in paying bills? Girl, he came in paying bills? What? Where does it go wrong at, child? Where does it go wrong? Honey, he didn't change the tire. He paid for a new tire. He done took her to Cheesecake Factory and Red Lobster. And now he paying bills? Girl, where did he go wrong? Where did he go wrong, honey? Well,
he paid the utility bills. And so when he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money. And so he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. And I am not, this is where it's not gonna make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills. It was a wonderful feeling. And so I kind of pushed to the side the fact that, yeah, you shacking up, because it's like, but your page, you don't have to worry right now. Like, he's taking care of all of April's bills before April even comes, because this was still March. So we're living together, and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean, and then we have a conversation about...
And he cooking and cleaning? Ooh, this is getting scary, y'all. This is getting scary.
House. Is he still going to buy a house just for him? Or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going to try to make this thing work, be official, get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County. So the decision was made, let's start looking for a house for both of us. Remember, he was already looking for a house for him. But then he was like, you know what? We're together. I plan to marry you. Let's look for a family home for the two of us. He was like, this is how much I was approved for. That's when he showed me the Chase paperwork. It was a letter stating that and it had the Chase emblem at the top. He showed me a letter stating that he was approved for $700.
Wait a minute, what happened?
All right, part 3. Who the fuck did I marry?
Hold on. What happened to part 2 with the $700 and something? Let me see if she's gonna go into it. Hold on.
So this is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a mortgage for a $750,000 mortgage, or a $750,000 house. So he was like, we can't go over $750,000. And I said, I remember asking him, can you afford the mortgage on a $750,000 house? Because I know I can't. This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football. I invested my money really well. So he said, I have money that will help pay for the mortgage. He was like, we're good. Like, I'm financially, I am okay. He was like, that's why I'm able to get approved for $750,000 mortgage. So he told me that his money was in different savings accounts. He said he had an account with Chase Bank, he had an account with US Bank, and he had an offshore account. This is what he told me. The offshore account, I was like, why? And he explained something about, the US, the US imposes taxes on money when you have a certain amount in US banks. He was like, so everybody knows that it's smart to have some money in an offshore account. Y'all, look, I live paycheck to paycheck. I was like, okay, that's whatever. I said, so you have the money to pay for a home. I'm also holding in my hand a letter from Chase saying that he was approved for $750,000. So I went off of what I saw. So we contacted a realtor. I won't say his name, but man, if he ever sees this TikTok, I owe this man such an apology. But we contacted a realtor who is based in Cobb County, because I was very adamant I wanted to move back to Marietta, Smyrna area in Cobb County, Georgia. He was fine with that. His whole attitude was, you're going to be my wife, happy life. So we met a realtor. I would find houses that I wanted to tour. Keep in mind that this was COVID. So at the time, we could not tour a home. It would have to be a virtual tour.
That's
so
right.
This particular realtor, we found a house in Douglasville, Georgia. Not Cobb County, but nevertheless, it's in Douglasville.
Nice house.
I was fine with Douglasville.
46
So we found a house in Douglasville,
baby.
Georgia. The realtor did a FaceTime tour of the house.
Mm-hmm.
The house was a nice home. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. So we did a FaceTime tour of the home, and the home was listed, I believe, roughly 400 and something thousand. I really like the house. I could see myself living there. I could see us living there. Could see us with the kid.
$400,000
This is
house.
now April.
That's pretty good.
Just for timeline purposes, this is April. So he really liked the house. He was like, you know what, we'll put an offer in on the house. He was like, if you like it, because again, it was COVID, we weren't going to be able to see the house in person because the family still lived there. So he said, I'll put an offer in. We'll see if it's accepted. I said, okay. So he puts an offer in. He's telling me he put an offer in. I need to clarify some things he told me and the things that I actually saw. So for this house in Douglasville, he told me he was putting an offer in. The realtor would call me, because one thing that the realtor told us, he was like, if the woman likes the house, typically the house is going to get bought.
That's right.
So he kind of dealt with me a bit more than he did my ex-husband. And again, this is April 2020. This is before we got married. So at the time, he was my boyfriend. So the realtor.
Now wait a minute, y'all. So they met and went out on their first date in March, and they already talking about buying a house in April. Are we in the same year? We haven't skipped a year yet, have we? In 1 month, they were already moved in with each other and buying and talking about marriage and buying a house. Wow, that's woo, girl. Child, what you got down there? Woo.
Was calling me and was like, hey, I put the offer in, and what they're asking for is proof of funds. And I did not know anything at this time about buying a house. So I was like, hey, you probably need to talk to him, because I'm not even listed on the mortgage. Like, from the paperwork I saw, it was only in his name. So he called him. I guess they talked. I was not there, but I'm assuming that they had talked. So the boyfriend is coming, my ex is coming home saying, yeah, I talked to so-and-so. I sent him over the paperwork. The offer was approved, and they are going to try to do a virtual closing. First, we got to do an inspection. If the inspection goes all well, then we have to do a virtual closing. He also told me that he put down earnest money on the home. He put down, I believe, $5,000. He said, I just transferred the money over to the realtor's account or whatever, so that it could be earnest money for the house. So I'm just like, okay, great. He was like, so realistically, this is April. We should be able to get in that house by June. Okay, no problem. So this is what he told me. About 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call from the realtor, and the realtor is like, "Hey, I'm just checking to see what you guys want to do about that house." So I was confused. I'm at work, and I said, "Oh, I was told that he put an offer in," and the realtor was like, "He did? I didn't know that he put an offer in." And I said, "Well, why wouldn't you know? Like, he told me he put the offer in, and he had paid earnest money, $5,000 earnest money." And so the realtor was like, "Well, let me call him and find out what's going on with that, because I didn't know anything about it." So red flag, of course. So I call him, and he, in true narcissistic nature, he flips the script, and he like goes off. He's like cussing, going off, like he shouldn't. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. He shouldn't be calling you. If he has a question, he should call me, because I'm the one that's on a mortgage. He was like, and now it's going to be an issue. And I said, "Well, did you put the offer in with him or not?" And he said, "No, I did not put the offer in with him. I put the offer in with a friend of mine who is a realtor, so I can give him the business." So I did not hear from that realtor again.
And that's, she probably didn't know, but that's another red flag, because when you're working with a realtor, they give you this paper to sign that says that you are working with them so that they can get credit. I can't think of what is a client. I don't know, but anyway, it's something that you sign saying that you are going to work with them for a certain amount of months in trying to purchase a home, and if it don't work out or whatever, then you don't have to continue on with them. But yeah, so I can't remember what it's called, but I know we had to sign something with the realtor saying that they are the ones that's sponsoring us, or hosting us, or working with us.
So I was just like, "Is the house under contract or is it not?" He was like, "Yes, the house is under contract." This is how crazy things work out. About 3 days later, on realtor.com, I'm looking at the house because I was trying to figure out in my mind how I'm gonna decorate. It shows the house is under contract. So, showed my boyfriend. My boyfriend's like, "I told you it was under contract." He was like, I did you not believe me?" And I ain't had the heart to say, "Hell no, I didn't believe you." Like, it seemed too good to be true. But once I saw the house was under contract, I absolutely believe that, okay, it's under contract with him. Like, yeah, we're about to do inspection. We are about to move. And so we had driven by the house because, again, keep in mind, a family's still living there. So we had driven by the house. At this point, he was like, "I want us to start looking for furniture so that way we can go ahead and order it. So when it's time to move, the furniture is ready," because it takes like 6 to 8 weeks sometimes for furniture to be delivered if they don't have it in stock. Like, he was very methodical and planning and saying, "This is what we need to do." So we started going to Home Depot, Lowe's, because we had a printout of what the sellers were going to take. They were going to take the appliances. He had a printout. Let me be clear. He had a printout. So it said on there that they were going to take the.
How did he get that? Because that's something that you do get when you go up under contract. They tell you what it is. We do have any realtors in here? It's something that they give you that tell you what's being kept with the house, and what's going to be you know, what stays with the home and what conveys and what not conveys. I think those are the proper terms that they use. What conveys with the house and what not conveys. So how did he get that? Interesting. Let's continue.
Appliances. So we needed to get a new stove, new refrigerator, new microwave, all that stuff. So we went to Home Depot and Lowe's, and I went ham. I chose all these new appliances.
Lord, please tell me she didn't buy it. Oh, Lord.
And here's where we get into the shopping.
Okay. Lord, I haven't seen none of this. Lord, please tell me this girl didn't go buy no refrigerator, stove, and all that other stuff. And not only that, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I done bought a whole lot of houses. Now, I know a refrigerator don't have to be in there, but all the other appliances like the oven, the stove, that has to be there. That has to be in the home. If it's a used home, that's a part of the home, honey. Now, refrigerator, yeah, no, they don't have to leave the fridge. But all the other appliances, they have to leave, baby. $400,000, no stove? Okay. We on part 4.
All right, part 4. So we go to Home Depot, we go to Lowe's. I'm choosing all these appliances. He's taking pictures of the SKU number. We had representatives helping us. And he basically explained to them, hey, we're buying a house. We should be closing sometime in June. Can we order this stuff now? Can I put a hold on it? Like, what can we do? Because we're not ready for delivery. I stood there as the Home Depot rep said, we can hold it in our warehouse. Like, you can buy something and we can hold it. People do it all the time, especially with COVID. So I watched him pay. I want to say it was about it was either $350 or $500. I watched him pay a deposit on a whole new set of appliances for them, and they were going to hold it until we were ready for delivery. I watched this. So I was like, okay, good deal. Like, we got the appliances. Next, let's go to Rooms to Go and Ashley Furniture and find actual furniture. So we went all around Rooms to Go. We went to Ashley Furniture. We went to American Signature. And I saw all these things that I wanted. Again, he's taking pictures of it. He was like, I can go online and order it. I didn't think anything of it because, again, I just saw that we held the appliances. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So April turns into May. May 2020 comes. This is where things start to get a little interesting. May comes, and obviously we had not done inspection. And I'm asking him all the time, what's the deal with the house? He was like, oh, because of COVID, they're trying to get someone to do the inspection. But the guy that they had, it was always something. The guy they had caught COVID, so they're going to have to get somebody else. And he's like 15 houses backed up. So
an inspection is not even mandatory, though. But I'm still blown with the fact that they're still under 60 days of knowing each other. Like, okay. Yeah, I'm still blown over that one. Here we go.
It'll be a while. So at this point in May, I know I look crazy. In this point in May of 2020, I started recording audio diaries. I don't know why. It was something just made me just start recording my thoughts in an audio diary, and I still have them. And I would save them by the date, and I would just start talking about what's on my mind. So I was like, I knew there was something was nagging me, like, but I kept pushing it out of my mind. I was like, you saw, this is what I reminded myself. You saw him pay for the appliances. You know the house is under contract. You know that he told you that he's the one who put the house under contract. Why would, like, I remember saying to myself, why would he lie about that? This is so easy to verify. Why would he lie about that? Have you caught him in any other lie? And at the time, the answer was no. So I really was like, maybe you just aren't used to a guy who actually does what he's supposed to do. Like, I was questioning myself and then answering my own questions. So inspection didn't happen. Around mid-May, I found out I was pregnant. May 2020. When I found out I was pregnant, he was ecstatic and I was like, oh shit. The reason why I was oh shit is because, number one, I'm plus size. Number two, because of my age, I felt like it was probably going to be a high risk pregnancy. And I wasn't married. And that nagged. I cannot tell y'all how much it nagged me. There was a lot of internal struggle in between. My family didn't even know that he had moved in at this point. I told them, you know, that I was pregnant, went to the doctor, everything looked good. But again, because it was COVID, he couldn't go in with me into the actual room. So, you know, doing any sort of ultrasound, doing the blood test, because my HCG levels were really high.
This chick got a little too comfortable, too damn fast, honey. Damn, like, she already pregnant. I'm just sitting up here thinking they ain't even 90 days in and she pregnant. Oh, what's up, lady? That's what they doing in Atlanta? Damn.
So the doctor was like, hey, it might be twins. We don't know yet. You're still kind of early, you know, along. They gave me a due date. The due date was January 26th of 2021. So, yeah. May, found out I was pregnant. So there was now more of a push into, we got to get a house. We got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm not having a baby in Riverdale. Okay? Nothing against Riverdale. But I ain't having a baby in Riverdale. So we need to find out what's going on with this house. And so he was on top of it. He had an answer for everything. He was like, you know, I'm gonna call and find out what's going on, blah, blah, blah. He then magically told me about a week later, oh, they're going to do inspection on the house like in 2 days. So I was just like, okay, keep in mind, I'm taking his word for it. I'm taking his word for all this. So he's like, they're going to do an inspection. Once we get the inspection report back, then we will know what we are going to be responsible for. What are we getting ourselves into?
Gotta let this cook in your heart.
So, I guess they did an inspection. He showed me an inspection report. Only thing that they said that the roof had just recently been replaced, which I remember he was very happy about. And the issues that there were for the house were minor. It was not a bad, because we did have a discussion about it. He was like, it's nothing that we can't handle. Then he said that we were set to close the end of May. We were set to close the end of May. He told me it was going to be a virtual closing. You're probably like, what the hell is a virtual closing? Because again, he's saying because of COVID, people are not closing in the office. They're doing a virtual closing where you would need to electronically sign the paperwork. This is what he's telling me. And so he was like, we're set to close like just before Memorial Day. And so for some reason, again, there's still that nagging part. For some reason, I didn't start packing. Anyone that knows me will tell you I hate moving. I've done it enough in my life. I hate moving. But I did not start packing up that house at all. I was just like, you know, I'm pregnant. My body was changing so fast that it was like I can barely keep my eyes open half the day. And so, no, I didn't start packing. And I remember I did record, again, I was recording audio diaries just about every day. When something didn't sit right, I would verbally record it in the audio diary because I was like, I don't know what it is, but there's something. That was the theme of our relationship. I don't know what it is, but I know there's something. And so I remember talking to myself in my little prayer closet, because that's where I would do my recordings. And I remember thinking, what if we don't get this house? Like, what if we don't get, what if he's lying? But again, there goes.
What if he was buying his house for somebody else? That'd be the mustard on the bun, baby. If he was buying his house for him and his ex or something, I don't know. Let's just find out.
That thought process of, why would he lie about this? Like, who makes up that they're buying a house when in fact they're not? And then he's showing you all this paperwork. Like, come on, you can't be that.
I mean, she just said he showed her an inspection report. He can't get an inspection report on a house that's already under contract for someone else. I don't think. Because how you get access to the house to do the inspection? Or, have the other person do the inspection.
Jaded. That you don't even believe what's in front of you. All right? So now we're going to go into part 5.
Okay, y'all. We're going to do a couple more, but this is already taken off on a kind of a weird. I know y'all say y'all believe her. I'm not going to sit here and say she lying yet. But it does sound a little shady. It sounds a little shady. It sounds a little shady. But let's just keep listening. Let's keep listening. We on part 5, y'all.
Okay, part 5. Who the fuck did I marry? So, I'm questioning all this stuff in my head out loud on my audio diaries. And then once again, I'm like, but look at what he's giving you. Like, he's paying. It wasn't a question about money. It was just a question of, are we really about to move into this house? And keep in mind, he's paying all the household bills. He still is. So we were supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't. There was an excuse. There was always an excuse with him. Always an excuse. And I didn't know enough about the process to question stuff because I really wasn't involved the way I should have been. And it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I'm pregnant with a lot of anxiety. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I was not expecting that I was probably going to have a healthy pregnancy because I was stressed. And what I was stressed about is I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't really involved the way that a normal relationship would be involved. Just being honest. So we did not close. We moved now into June. This is now going into June. Around June 5th, I looked at the house again on realtor.com.
Don't tell me it was sold.
I don't know what made me do it other than, and I don't mean to sound super spiritual. I know that people are like,
you
may or may not believe in God. But I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart. Probably the Holy Spirit was like, look at that house on realtor.com. So I looked at the house on realtor.com. This was around June 5th. it showed that the house was off the market. And I remember being like, okay, wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because ex-husband is telling me we're about to close on the house. We're about to close. It's our house. We got furniture, he's also telling me that he's been in contact with the realtor, his friend, who was telling him, you know, this is what was happening next. Here's what's going on. So the guy that we initially worked with apparently is completely out of the picture. But again, I was not heavily involved. So I'm just like, let me look at the house. I see it's off market. What the fuck does off market mean? Like, now I'm really freaking out. So it shows the name of the real estate agent for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, you know, I said, my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street. And we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available? Or, you know, I pulled that card and she was like, oh, no, ma'am. The home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there are certain dates I just remember.
Oh, shit.
And I said, oh, it closed June 4th?
Did y'all see that
really?
Date? Did y'all see that date? Hold on. Oh, shit. Hold on. Maybe I went, hold on.
Shows the name of the real estate agent
Let me see if I can pause
for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, you know, I said, my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street. And we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available? Or, you know, I pulled that card and she was like, oh, no, ma'am. The home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there's certain.
Y'all see that date? June 4th, it sold for $339K. Wow. What is he gonna say, baby? What is he gonna say, honey?
Dates I just remember. And I said, oh, it closed June 4th? I was like,
she said, that's my due date. But guess what? That's my anniversary, baby. June the 4th is my anniversary. It's my anniversary. Yeah. So your due date, water, and my anniversary. I hope you have your baby on June the 4th, water. Anyway, here we go.
Really? And she said, yes, ma'am. She was like, my sellers sold the house. And I was like, oh man, okay. Well, I said, my husband and I really wanted, you know, we love the pictures of it. And we're getting ready to start a family. So I would have loved to have been able to, have the opportunity to see it. I asked her something. I don't remember the specific question I asked her. And I don't even, I know why I asked the question, because I was anticipating that my...
Big Bean said that, hold on. Robbie said, did y'all see that it was back on the market on June 25th? Hold on.
We were supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't.
Hold on.
To see it. I asked her something. I don't remember the specific question I asked her. And I don't even, I know why I asked the question, because I was anticipating that my boyfriend at the time was going to have some sort of...
Hold on.
Okay, part 5. Who the fuck did I marry on the house? We're about to close. It's... I guess they did an inspection. He showed me an inspection.
Oh, shoot.
We were supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't. There was an excuse. There was always an excuse with him. Always an excuse. And I didn't know enough about the process to question stuff because I really wasn't involved the way I should have been. And it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I'm pregnant with a lot of anxiety. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I was not expecting that I was probably going to have a healthy pregnancy because I was stressed. And what I was stressed about is I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't really involved the way that a normal relationship would be involved. Just being honest. So we did not close around.
There ain't no normal relationship. She let this man move in with her within less than 1 month. Like, that ain't normal.
We move now into June. This is now going into June. Around June 5th, I looked at the house again on realtor.com. I don't know what made me do it other than, and I don't mean to sound super spiritual. I know that people are like, you know, you may or may not believe in God, but I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart, probably the Holy Spirit was like, look at that house on realtor.com. So I looked at the house on realtor.com. This was around June 5th. It showed that the house was off the market. And I remember being like, okay, wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because ex-husband is telling me we're about to close on the house. We're about to close. It's
Tammy B, no, they're not married yet. It was still her boyfriend right now. It's still her boyfriend. They haven't gotten married yet.
Our house. We got furniture, he's also telling me that he's been in contact with the realtor, his friend, who was telling him, you know, this is what was happening next. Here's what's going on. So the guy that we initially worked with apparently is completely out of the picture. But again, I was not heavily involved. So I'm just like, let me look at the house. I see it's off market. What the fuck does off market mean? Like, now I'm really freaking out. So it shows the name of the real estate agent for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, you know, I said, my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street. And we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available? Or, you know, I pulled that card. And she was like, oh, no, ma'am. The home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there are certain dates I just remember.
All right. It says sold. And then you said listed for sale. No. Okay, so Robbie, it was... hold on a second. It was so it looked like somebody may have bought it as a flip home, which don't make no sense because it says pending sale on April the 29th, sold for $339 on June the 4th, and June 25th is back on sale for less than what they paid for it. That seems kind of weird to me. But anyway, if these are real receipts, because it does look kind of weird because it looked like it was put back on sale June 25th. And then it was removed June 25th. So I think it was a mistake, Robbie. It was put back it was listed for sale on June 25th and removed on June 25th. I think that may have been a mistake of a realtor, you know, in the MLS back office or whatever you want to call it. It looks like it was a mistake, an error, an operator error.
And I said, oh, it closed June 4th? I was like, really? And she said, yes, ma'am. She was like, my sellers sold the house. And I was like, oh man, okay. Well, I said, my husband and I really wanted, we love the pictures of it, and we're getting ready to start a family. So I would have loved to have been able to, have the opportunity to see it. I asked her something. I don't remember the specific question I asked her. And I know why I asked the question, because I was anticipating that my boyfriend at the time was going to have some sort of excuse. So I asked her something about the buyers. And I remember, and somehow, again, forgive me, I don't remember the question I asked her. But the answer was that it was an older white couple. Older white couple. So I get off the phone with her. I record an audio diary, and in the audio diary, I specifically say, okay, there is no house. He's going to have to get out of this lie somehow. Because now I realize, at the very least, he was lying about him being the one who was under contract. I knew enough about that. So I was like, what, how was he going to get out of this? Again, I've listened to the audio diary in 2024. I literally said in that audio diary, how is he going to get out of this lie? And I was trying to think of ways on how he's going to do it. And something said to me, because I say it on the audio diary, I said, he's going to say it's a bad deal. And he's going to say he wants to pull out. Y'all keep in mind, I am pregnant. So I had a decision to make. As ugly as this decision was, I made the decision, you're about to have a baby with this man. He's paying all the household bills. Let him get out of the lie. And that's what I did. I purposely made the decision that I knew he was going to come back, and I knew he was going to give me some bullshit on why he couldn't buy the house, because he didn't know that I knew that house is already sold. The house is already sold.
Couldn't be me. I couldn't. I'm gonna call you out, baby.
And this is the part where I said, I'm gonna be honest, even though it's gonna make me look bad, because most women in their right mind would have been like, I'm out. And I didn't. So, sure enough, he came home. He didn't really say anything that day. The next day I asked him about the house. And he said, my friend, the realtor.
Right now, Bren, it's just one pregnancy. She's just pregnant right now. This is just one.
He was like, I'm talking to him because something's going on with the interest rate. And when he said that, I felt so much relief, because I knew that I had been prepared for, he's going to give you some bullshit. So when he said there's something with the interest rate, I said, you know what? This is literally what I said, y'all. If the interest rate isn't good, then we shouldn't move there. We should probably let this house go. We should cancel whatever furniture we ordered.
She created an excuse for him.
Or,
or should I say she co-signed his excuse.
Appliances. And let's just look for another house. I said, I would like to be moved before the end of the year. I said, I really don't want to be 9 months pregnant moving into a house. I would like to be done with this before then. And the way I said it was so calm. And he was like, okay. He was like, I'm going to call the friend, the realtor, and tell him I'm backing out of the house. And I'm going to see if I can get my earnest money back. And I remember looking at him.
The house is sold. What, sis? You ain't bust them out, girl? What in the world? Something ain't right with you, Reese. Something ain't right, honey.
And I was standing in the kitchen and I cocked my head to the side and I said, okay, get your earnest money back and let's find another house. And so that's how that first house fell through. So, fast forward, I keep looking at this to see how much time I have, because you know they only give you 10 minutes. So this is part 5, part 6 is coming up, but subsequently what ends up happening the next week, which is mid-June, I was at work, and I started cramping, started bleeding. And at this point, my doctor, I had just had an ultrasound earlier that day. So I went to work because the ultrasound was fine. I went to work and the cramping and the bleeding started. And I started crying because I kind of knew what was going on. And my doctor had called me and told me that when they did the ultrasound, they did not see a heartbeat. So she was like, this pregnancy is not going to be viable. So I'm crying, hysterical. And now we're going to get into part 6.
So it sounds like she may have had a miscarriage, honey. First one. She should have went to running then, baby. It seemed like listen, there's so many things that happen. You know, on date 1, she had a flat tire. Ding, 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 ding. It may not be good for you. Turn around, right? And now you just busted him in saying that he's going to pull out of a house deal that has already sold by an elderly white couple. But you're carrying on the BS because she desperately wanted this to be true. She wanted this fairy tale. She wanted this perfect, nice, you know, and the dude is paying all the bills. She wanted this. So she was forcing this to be wonderful, to be great, to be amazing. He's already telling you who he is right now. Let's continue. This is part 6, y'all.
Okay, so this is part 6 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So, where we left off. So, obviously,
I'm glad she got out that damn loud ass car, y'all. But anyway.
My doctor had called and told me there was no heartbeat. The pregnancy was not viable at that point, and I was cramping and spotting at work. Went into my best friend's office and immediately started crying. She was like, what's going on? And I said, I told her what the doctor said, and she grabbed her keys, grabbed her purse, and was like, let's go, I'm taking you home. On my way home, I called my boyfriend and told him what the doctor said, and he was like, I'll meet you at home. So he was coming from Duluth, went straight home. And so about 24, 48 hours later, I had a doctor's appointment, and my doctor gave me 3 options. First option, let everything happen naturally. Your body will expel the fetus on its own. Second option, you can take a pill which will induce expelling the fetus at home. The pill basically will cause you to contract and expel. The third option was to go into the hospital and do a D&C. I did not want to do a D&C because I did not want to be in a hospital with COVID going on. And for whatever reason, I did not do the option of let it happen naturally. So I chose to do the pill. His birthday was June 17th. My ex's birthday was June 17th. So the decision was made, we're going to celebrate his birthday that day, go out to eat. And then that night I would take the pill because we both were off from work the next 2 or 3 days. So went out to eat to try to celebrate as best we could, and then took the pill that night. That night was the most traumatic, excruciating pain I've ever put my body through. I do not recommend any woman, if prayerfully you don't have to go through that,
I didn't even know that
but
you
I don't
could do
recommend
that.
taking that pill. If you don't have to, don't do it. I spent the whole night in the bathroom just crying in so much pain. I couldn't take, they gave me a narcotic. I couldn't take it because I found out I was allergic to it. So it was causing me to like projectile vomiting. It was a mess. So, and he was right there. You know, he was scared that he needed to take me to the ER. But in the morning, the pain kind of subsided. So about 72 hours later, I had another doctor's appointment where the purpose of this appointment was to do an ultrasound to see if everything had passed. Everything did not pass. So because of that, my doctor was like, we're going to have to do a DNC.
Oh my gosh, you had to go through that
My
shit.
DNC was scheduled for the first week
Oh
of July.
my goodness.
My boyfriend, my ex, was going to take me. That was always the plan. 2 days before my procedure, he comes home and tells me that he is up for a promotion. He's up to be promoted to VP. Because of this, the president of the company, excuse me, is coming in, and it was going to be this huge business meeting he had to go to. The business meeting was scheduled for the day of my surgery.
What?
And so I'm throwing a fit because I was like, you there's no way you can do that meeting. Like, I need you to take me to the hospital and all this other stuff. And so he offered to have his sister take me to the hospital.
What?
Apparently his sister lived in Douglasville. I was like, no, because I've never met her. Like, I'm not having a stranger take me to the hospital. No, this is a private situation. I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. So my aunt had offered to take me. And then my friend who took me home from work had offered to take me. So at that point, we get into an argument because he's like, my sister is, you about your family, so why can't she step in? And I was like, nah, because I don't know her. Period.
She said a mother flipping Gemini.
I don't know her. So my friend offers to take me to the hospital because I was all distressed that he's saying he has a business meeting and he can't take me. So I remember being on I-75 on the connector on the phone with her crying because I was so embarrassed that he wasn't going to be the one to take me and that I was needing to rely on someone else to take me to the hospital in order to get a DNC done. And she was really great. She was like, girl, this is why you have a village. Like, it's okay. Things happen. The world is crazy right now. I will take you. You're going to be okay. So he did not take me to the hospital for my DNC. My friend did. She could not stay because of COVID protocol. So when they wheeled me into pre-op after I got checked in, I texted him and was just letting him know, hey, here's the update. I'm about to, I'm in pre-op. They're going to get me prepared to go back to the surgical ward or whatever. And the response I got was from his new executive assistant named David. Now, when he told me he was up for the promotion, he did tell me that part of getting this new job would be that he would get an executive assistant named David. And he did tell me, I'm going to make sure that I inform David if you get a text from this number, meaning from me, pull me out of the meeting because, my fiance's having a procedure done and I'm picking her up. So it's important that you come get me if it's something serious. So I texted him. David responds. He said, yeah, Mr. Blah Blah told me that you are having a procedure done. If you need me to get him, I can go get him. He's in a meeting. Just let me know what you need. And I just said, no, don't bother him. I'm just giving an update that they're about to take me back. And David responds and says, "I'm so sorry you're going through this. Please let me know if there's anything I can do."
Now, let me just say this, y'all. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I don't know one boss, supervisor, manager, co-worker, nobody. I don't know not one person that'll know your fiance, girlfriend, baby mama is going through a traumatic experience like this and will not allow the guy to go handle his shit. Like, you got to be heartless to know that your employer's baby mama, girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever, is about to go through a traumatic experience and you still want to hear him. You still want to hear him in a meeting or see him in a meeting. Girl, bye. That man David was a liar. Okay. That's crazy.
So I have the procedure. I wake up and I am now in recovery. I should be in recovery 45 minutes up to an hour and a half. I wake up, first thing I ask, and I remember asking, is where is so-and-so? The nurse who was so sweet, she was like, everything went well. You're doing great. She said, we spoke to your fiance. He's on his way. So I said, okay, I kind of dozed back out, but I could still hear everything that was going on. I just could not keep my eyes open to save my life. So I hear her talk to the other nurse, and that's when she said, yeah, Dr. So-and-so called her fiance, and his executive assistant picked up. And the executive assistant said that he was in a business meeting and that, you could relay to him what you need to say, and he'll tell the fiance. And my doctor was like, hell no, HIPAA, I need to speak to him. So apparently my fiance called the doctor back about 30 minutes later, and the doctor informed him she'll be ready to be discharged in about an hour. You can make your way and come pick her up. He said he was on his way. He was on his way from Duluth to Atlanta, which is not a huge distance, but the time of day, one thing about Atlanta, there's always traffic. So he should have been there within the hour. I should have only been in recovery an hour and a half. Let's go to the next part.
So what do y'all think? Do y'all think he showed up? For those that have not seen it now, if you've seen it, don't answer, but do y'all think that he showed up at the hospital to pick her up, or did she have to call her friend? Because, baby, if I had to call my friend, oh my God, I'd be so idiot. I'd be livid, honey. It ain't no way I'm going to go home with him. Even if I did, just so he could take care of me for the next couple of days, he got to be gone. If this joker did not show up at the hospital, man, I'm telling you, it's a wrap, honey. A wrap. What excuse do you have for not showing up? Did you flip over in the ditch? Oh, he better end up in the hospital if he didn't show up. I'm here to tell you. Here we go. I think this is part 7.
Part 7. Who the fuck did I marry? So I should have been in recovery at Northside Hospital for about at most an hour and a half. Subsequently, I ended up being in recovery between 3 to 3.5 hours. The nurses kept calling my ex, asking what's the status, because they were actually getting ready to do a shift change. So they kept calling, asking what's the status, like, where are you? I want to say that they called a total of 3 times and they spoke to him twice.
What?
So at this point, I knew that they were all like, where's her fiance? Like, what is going on? He said he was stuck in traffic, and so he was making his way there. He eventually did get to Northside Hospital.
Okay.
And
Please show
they
up.
wheeled me down because, again, he couldn't come in just because of the
Okay, well, at least he showed up, y'all. He showed up, y'all. He showed up. He showed up.
protocols. So when I got in the car and I'm in pain, but yet drugged up, couldn't keep my eyes open, couldn't really, I was just out of it. But I remember him calling my aunt and my mother and letting them know I picked her up. We're on the way home. Let me get her settled, and then I'll give you guys an update. I remember that. What I did not know was that he had texted my aunt and my mom and asked them to not bother me for like a week. Like, just please don't reach out to her. Let her just rest. I am from New Jersey. I am from an African American family. You don't tell my black mama or my black aunt that, please don't bother her for a week. I didn't know this at the time, but I'm just interjecting that part. I'm trying to stay in
He
the
got
timeline.
the absolute nerves. Like, what? Oh, hell no. Oh, my daughter just went through this, and you telling me don't bother? And you ain't even put a ring on it? I wish you would. I wish he would. What? That mean I'm coming. You hear me? Something ain't right. I'm on my way. My daughter just went through this, and you want me to stay away for a week? Oh, bruh. I'm on my way, honey. I'm grabbing my purse and the keys right now. Jay, we out, babe. We out, honey.
But he did apparently do that, and my aunt was like, "Why will fuck you up?" Anyway, so go
Rightfully
home.
so.
He waits on me hand and foot. I recover. Just needed about 24 to 48 hours to just get my mind right. During this time, in between when the house in Douglasville fell through, we had not talked about a house. So I guess it was about a week later after the DNC. He decides that, do you want to start looking for a house again? Excuse me, I have hiccups, y'all. Do you want to start looking for a house again? Because of what happened with the house in Douglasville, I felt like I was smarter this time to say, I want to be involved in every aspect, because I don't know what the fuck happened with that house in Douglasville. But what I do know is that he lied to me. I didn't know then what I know now. I just knew he lied about I knew he lied about being under contract. So I told him, I said, I don't want to work with your friend who I've never met, never talked to. I know that he has talked to him because he's talked to him in front of me. And I'm going to demonstrate on one of the videos how he used to do his phone calls. Don't worry, it's coming. So we found a new real estate agent. Really nice guy. His name was Scott.
She's like an ear to her voice.
Really nice guy. And we told him what the budget was. And Scott was like, okay, when you guys are ready, we can start looking at houses. Try to look for houses that are empty because you can actually tour those. If it's a house where someone's already living in there, chances are it's going to have to be a virtual tour because of COVID. So I found a house that I absolutely, in total, we must have looked at about 15 houses. But I found a house in Smyrna that I absolutely loved.
Nice house.
We toured the house. Everything about this house was perfect. The house was listed for $699,000. It was a brand new construction build. The only issue was that the basement was not finished, and he wanted the basement to be his man cave. Again, I went with him to tour this house, so this was already feeling very different than the situation in Douglasville, because we did not actually tour the Douglasville house. We only did a FaceTime virtual tour. This house in Smyrna, we toured. We toured this house more than once. And it was gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. So we talked about it. He said that he had the money. Again, the price was $699. He said he felt comfortable putting in an all cash offer. If you remember on the videos before, he told me he had money in his savings from when he played football.
Oh Lord.
So when he said an all cash offer, even I knew you got that kind of money, like
I know, right?
where you can cut a cashier's check for $699,000, and he told me he did. He had money in savings from when he played football, and he was very comfortable paying all cash for this home.
Why he didn't do it the first time?
The
Talking about some
real estate
interest
agent,
rate.
Scott, sent over the paperwork. The paperwork was sent in both of our names. It was sent to my email. That was another thing that I changed after Douglasville. Everything gets sent to me, and then I will be sure that he signs it. So he sent it to me. I looked over the offer. We were going to put in an all cash, full price offer with a request to have the basement finished. Also, we were requesting for the seller to give us an answer within 24 hours. We were requesting a quick closing. These are just some of the things I remember. I remember 24 hours, like I didn't want to wait on y'all think about it. 24 hours, let us know if you're accepting the offer or not. And then also a quick closing because it was a new construction. So we didn't have to wait for the current tenant to move out. We didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. So I watched in our bedroom as he pulled it up because it was a electronic document. He signed his name to the offer for $699,000 cash.
Wow.
He requested again, the seller let us know in 24 hours if they were accepting the offer. So we submitted the offer at around 6 p.m. We were requesting that by 6 p.m. the next day, they let us know if the offer was accepted or not.
Okay.
I watched him sign the offer.
Mm-hmm.
I sent the offer back to Scott from my email. All parties had signed. Scott texted us and said, I got it. I'm submitting it. I will let you know what they say. Let's go into part 7.
She mean part 8.
Let's go into part 8.
Yeah.
Grief, this is getting long.
Okay. So she's saying now that she watched him sign the offer. Now, if the house was listed for $699, now this is not every case, but if the house is listed for $699, every house has wiggle room, right? You just have to have negotiation skills. But if you come in with cash, baby, you should have been able to get that price lowered. You hear me? You come in with cash money, meaning that you ain't even got to get bank approved and all this other bull crap money. You could cut a whole deal on that price. I'm just surprised that he went in for list price with cash. I don't know. Now, me, I would have been asking questions. You hear me? All right, here we go. Part 8.
Okay, so I just want to clear up some things that I realized is kind of creating some confusion.
So this right here, she came back and did a clarification video because apparently some people was asking questions because they was a little off as to where he was, where he from and how did he get from California to Georgia to all these other places. So she's just clarifying some things right here.
Just allow this video to serve as a stop sign. Let's clarify. First of all.
All right. I hear somebody say people are paying 25% or more over the asking price. That's now, but during COVID, it wasn't like that. This started like at the end of COVID where they started, doing 25% over and stuff like that. It hasn't always been like that. Okay. So, okay, here we go. Part Oh, well, we're doing the clarification part now.
The story, background. He was born in Philly, raised in Philly, and moved to Augusta. Story is that he moved to Augusta for high school. After high school, he went to college at San Diego State. Enjoyed San Diego State, stayed in San Diego for quite a while.
It's 52 parts, but we're not doing all 52 parts tonight, y'all. We're going to stop in a minute, and then we're going to pick up tomorrow. So y'all can't be late, honey. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's kind of late. I know y'all need to go to sleep, but give me a couple of more, and then we'll cut it off and finish it tomorrow. Well, not finish the whole thing, but we'll start back up tomorrow. It may take us 3 days to go through this, okay? All right, here we go. Just hang in with me for a couple of more. It's only 10 minutes each video.
Got married out in California, had a house in California, played arena football out in California, but his family was back here in Augusta, Georgia. He still had a lot of family up in Philly, but for the most part, he had a sister in Augusta, he had a sister in Douglasville, he had a brother in Baltimore, he had another brother in Philly, and he had a brother in Nashville. So I just want to clarify that in terms of not the demographics, but the geography. Born in Philly, came to Augusta for high school, went to San Diego State for college, played football, stayed at San Diego, got married out there, but still had quite a bit of family here in Augusta. Here.
Now, let me remind y'all, he has an ex-wife, okay? He has a woman that he was married to, right? That she had kids, remember? And he's still, close to the children, even though the first wife cheated on him. So keep that in mind that, he already came with some type of baggage that she's not even cluing in on at this point, okay? But let's continue.
Georgia. He also had a sister, I think I said, who lived in Douglasville. I have physically met his aunt who lived in Augusta. I've met his brother who lives in Augusta. I have spoken on FaceTime with a brother who lives in Baltimore. And then I will demonstrate how he used to talk to the brother that lives in Philly. That's coming up. You haven't missed that. In terms of the proposal, you did not miss the story of the proposal. I simply didn't want to share it because it was embarrassing.
Thank you, Anita.
Basically, he gave me 3 ring options. We went to a jeweler at the Mall of Georgia. He had me pick out 3 rings. I told him which one I liked the most because I knew it wasn't a romantic proposal at all. I knew which ring I liked the most. I told him which one. He basically said, when I'm ready, I'll give you the ring and I'll propose. Fast forward about, I guess it was summer because I was actually pregnant when the ring came. We were sitting at the dinner table. He took the ring box out of his pocket, slammed it on the dinner table, and I was like, what is this? He was like, open it. I opened it, and inside was the ring that I had wanted, that I had chosen at the jeweler. And he was like, all right, so this means that you're going to be my wife.
What a way.
So, again, when I asked y'all to give me grace, it's because there are certain things that's just like, girl, what was you thinking? Trust me.
Yeah, Reesa, what was you thinking?
There's no excuse.
No, I'm just kidding.
So there was never a, will you marry me? It was more of a, we're living together, we're having a baby together, we need to get married because.
Now, is she pregnant again at this point? I don't know. She's going to tell us, I guess, next video. Because this was just a clarification. I don't even know what this clarification video was supposed to go. I just kind of stuck it here because I did not know where it was supposed to go. Okay.
The backstory also was that his dad was a retired police officer, but at one point his father was a pastor. So he could quote the Bible like nobody's business, as we all know. So can Lucifer. But anyway, he could quote the Bible like no one's business. And so that's how we ended up engaged. And I was wearing a ring. I will find a picture and I will try to post it. But I was wearing the ring. Don't worry, there's more to that story as well. So just wanted to clarify some things for the people who were like, wasn't it weird that he had a sister who lived close, but he's from Philly? So I just wanted to definitely bring clarity to what he told me was the backstory. Born in Philly, came to Augusta for high school, went to California for college, played football at San Diego State, played football and arena football, worked at Apple, and then joined the condiment company in California, who then transferred him back to Georgia. He was married in California, and he told me he got divorced in California. That is important as well. That will come up again later. And so the ex-wife, at this point in time, at the time that I'm telling you, part 7, which is the last video I just posted, the ex-wife lived in California with her 2 kids, his 2 stepkids. The 2 stepkids were 17 and 20 or 21, but they were that age group. And he was saying that he was very close with them, so he wanted to keep a tight relationship with them.
Okay, so he has 2 kids and 2 stepchildren by the wife, the ex-wife. Interesting. Okay, I missed that part.
And he talked to them, if not every day, every other day. When I say, and when I say this, I need y'all to.
Stephanie said, I need to tell my story next, girl. Stephanie, you better start telling it, girl. Start recording, honey. Just start recording, baby.
Understand. When I say that he talked to someone, it means that he was on the phone in front of me talking to the person. I hope that, because I will touch back on this. He was on the phone in front of me.
We're going to watch a couple of more, and then we're gonna sign off for tonight and pick back up tomorrow.
Talking to the person. So he talked to his siblings every day. He talked to his aunt almost every day. He talked to his family the way I talk to my family almost every day. And again, I will demonstrate how he used to do the phone calls. I will also demonstrate how he used to do the work phone calls, because he called me every single day from work. And he would talk to people while he was on the phone with me. And I could hear people in the background. But that's a whole nother part. So again, buckle your seats. I promise I'm reading your comments, I'm reading your questions, but I wanted to bring this video just to clarify some stuff. Hopefully this helps. And honestly, I know people are fascinated by this, but more than anything, I hope that there's a woman watching this and she's saying to herself, okay, it's time for me to ask some questions.
That's right, ladies.
That's my hope.
Ask them damn questions. All right. Okay, now I think we're about to hear 8 now.
Right, part 8 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we submitted an offer on the house in Smyrna. I sent it over to Scott, our realtor, and next day comes, Scott asks if we can take a phone call. So he calls us and tells us that the offer was not accepted and the builder did not do a counter offer.
What?
We don't exactly know why.
Why in the world would a builder not accept a list price? What? Come on.
We don't exactly know why he didn't accept it, but the bottom line is that we figured out later on that he didn't want to finish the basement. So the offer was not accepted.
Oh yeah, he did put that in there, did he?
The house fell through. I was okay with that because, again, I knew he had put in an offer. So we continued looking at other houses. We found another house in Smyrna that he really liked. I thought that it was way too big for just
Damn,
the
they
two of
getting
us.
better and better.
And so the price of this home was much higher than the $750,000 that Chase had approved for the mortgage. So what he explained to me was that he was willing to do the $750,000 mortgage, and he was also willing to put a significant amount of the money in savings on the house, which meant that he was now comfortable going from $750,000 up to about $900,000.
She thinks she got a ball up.
Again, his whole explanation was, I have the money where I can put down a substantial down payment, bring down the price of the home, and then basically mortgage the rest of it. So that was now the plan. I was not comfortable with a home over $900,000. But again, keep in mind, I saw the Chase paperwork. So I was like, I just feel more comfortable sticking at the $750,000 mark. That's what you were approved for. Let's go with that. By this point, this is now fall of 2020. We had been talking about marriage. I had my ring. He had made VP at the company. And again, he was calling me every day from work. I need to kind of explain how the company was ran, because when you think VP, you would think he would be in an office. It was a condiment company, so they actually were producing the condiments, and I'm not saying the name of the company on purpose, but they were producing the condiments in this particular plant location. So a lot of times he would simply tell me that he walked the floor, checking in with his subordinates, basically. Now, how did he go to work? For the most part, at this point, he left before I woke up. However, pretty much he wore dress pants, kind of like a dark navy blue cargo pant. And he had a polo shirt with the company logo on it. What I saw a lot of times is that he would not wear the polo shirt to work. He would wear like a company t-shirt. He would wear rubber sole shoes and the navy blue cargo pants. I didn't think it was a uniform, but it reminded me of what someone would wear when I worked at Amazon, if you're going to be doing manual labor. He didn't go to work sloppy looking at all, but it definitely was not suit and tie. Nowhere near suit and tie. It is fair to note that outside of work, he was a man who he loved to dress. He loved to wear the latest Jordans. He loved to collect watches. He collected a lot of Invicta watches. He loved to collect hats. He wore hats, baseball caps everywhere because he didn't like the shape of his head. So in terms of how he dressed casually, the man, he could dress. In terms of how he dressed for work, yeah, he didn't dress like a VP. But his excuse was, I'm constantly walking the production floor, and I can't be in a suit and tie walking the production floor where they're creating the condiments that we're selling. So by this point, again, this is fall. We're still looking at houses. We're still touring houses as much as we can because it is COVID. We had found another house that we really liked and a house that I really, truly wanted to put an offer in on. This was now going to be the second house that we put an offer on. He put in the asking price, I believe, was about $700,000. He put in under asking an offer for about $650,000. I'm guessing, but I'll try to find the house and put it on the story. The reason that house fell through, we found out that the home was sitting on a septic tank. We found out that the septic tank had an issue, and it would have taken about $15,000 to $20,000 to fix the septic tank. The sellers were not willing to fix the septic tank. Personally, I ain't really care for the house that much. I'm the one who was like, I don't really want it. So even though we put an offer in, we had 24 hours where we could pull our offer back. And so we did. Once we found out, I believe it was in the disclosure. And if you're a realtor, please feel free to tell me if I'm using the wrong terminology. But I believe it was in the disclosure that they told us the septic tank needs to be replaced. That's when I was like, nah, I don't want that house.
What's that shit?
So we pulled out. The house fell through. And so
Damn.
I was fine with it because, again, I was heavily involved. I saw him sign the offer. I knew every step of what was going on. Our real estate agent, Scott, was amazing, but you will see when I get to it where he made a mistake as a real estate agent. So house number 2 fell through. We then moved on, saw a few more houses, and then we get...
No, this house number 3, ain't it? No, this one is house number 3 because house number 1 closed June the 4th or something like that, right? House number 2, he didn't want to get the basement done, right? It was cash offer. He didn't want to get the basement done. House number 3, they did was for $650,000, and he didn't want to fix the septic tank. So this should be house number 4, right? Yeah, I think she made a mistake on that one.
I'm going to pause talking about the houses because now I need to introduce what happened with the cars. Stay tuned.
The cars. All right, let's listen to one more, y'all, and then we're gonna stop on 9. I know that's weird, y'all. We're gonna stop on 9, and we're gonna pick back up tomorrow on 10. Don't cheat. Don't cheat now. We're gonna stop on 9. Let's listen to this one. We're gonna close out. We'll talk about it a little bit, close out, and we're gonna pick back up on 10 tomorrow, unless y'all gonna hang with me through 10. I see people falling off. That means y'all asleep, honey. That means y'all are asleep. Are we gonna go to 10? I'm hearing people saying you gotta stop at 10. Okay, well, we'll stop at 10 then. We'll do 9 and 10, and then we'll start with 11 tomorrow, okay? Hang in there with me, y'all. I know y'all sleepy. Hang in there. Let's find out what's going on with these goddamn cars. I'm still tripping at the fact that all this happened in within 6 months of knowing this man. That's a lot, baby. Okay, here we go.
All right. Part 9 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we're pausing on the house stuff. Let me tell you about the car. So when I met my ex-husband, I was driving a 2012 Nissan Rogue, fully loaded. It had quite a few miles on it, but it got me from A to B. It was in good condition, but I was upside down in the car. He was driving a 2018 Ford Taurus, sport mode. I know he had a sport mode on the car, and I love driving that car. When he told me how he was a regional manager, he told me that one of the perks that came with the job was that he would be getting a company car. And so we spent time going to Range Rover of South Atlanta. We spent time going to Jaguar. We spent time going to BMW. We spent time going to Ford, which was on Mount Zion in Morrow, if you all are familiar with that area. He test drove a whole lot of cars. In the end, he decided on a BMW sedan. I was there when he test drove the car. I got in the car with him. I loved it. And he explained to the salesperson, you know, I'm getting a company car. I need to get a printout of the full price of the car, tax, tag, and title. Because what my company is going to do is wire over the money for the car. The salesperson was like, okay, you know, apparently that happens a lot. So he gave him a printout with the tax tag and title for the car. In front of me and the salesperson, he called the person in the finance department for his job. Obviously, I have no idea what this person's name is, but he called the person. He explained to them, this is the amount of money. He said the president of the company, so-and-so, has authorized for him to get a car, not spending more than, I think, $90,000 tax tag and title. The BMW came out to just under $90,000. And so I remember this conversation so fucking vividly. So he's on the phone in front. I'm sitting down, the salesperson sitting down at their desk, and he's like, they put me on hold. And so he's like, I guess the person comes back and he says, yeah, the price of the car is blah, blah, blah. He was like, give me a second and I can send you a picture of that printout that shows tax tag and title for the BMW. He gets off the phone, he takes a picture of it, he sends it to whoever. He waits about 10 minutes, he calls the person back. He says, did you get it? Apparently the person did get it. But the person who can actually physically do the wire transfer.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, they let somebody pick out their own company car? What? Damn. And most company cars are like those already used demo cars or something like that. They'll use those for company cars. And you're right, they don't pay them jokers in full because they flip them jokers right back on over. You hear me? They trade them jokers right back in, baby. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. He get to pick out his own company car? What? And pay it in full? Okay, yeah, right.
Had gone home for the day. So what he says to the BMW salesperson, he's like,
you right about that, honey. Now, I don't know. It may be some companies that might have BMWs or something like that, but nah, I'm thinking a Ford or one of them, like you said, American cars, baby. You hear me? They represent a BMW. Okay, you're right.
Like, okay, we're going to have to do this tomorrow because so-and-so went home for the day. I don't know who the salesperson is. I can only tell you from my viewpoint what I thought. I had no reason to think this was a lie. I really didn't. Because again, you got to please keep in mind the circumstance.
Now, let me tell you where her and I different, okay? You see how she's now saying she had no reason to think that this was a lie? Let me tell you how her and I different. Once you lie to me one time, everything out your mouth to me, I'ma think is a lie. Do you understand what I'm saying? You could be telling the honest God truth, but if I caught you in a lie, everything after that, I'm going to assume is a lie, honey. You're going to have to prove to me that it ain't a lie. So for her to say that she had no reason to think that he was lying about it, you already caught him in a lie more than once. At this point, everything out his mouth would be suspect to me. Do you hear me? I'm like you, asshole. I'm questioning everything. I want to see black and white everything. I want to be on the phone call. I want to hear conversations. Now I'm nosy. I want to be totally informed. You lied to me once. That means you'll lie again and again and again and again. She said she had no reason to believe he'll lie. What? Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's carry on, honey. Let's carry on.
Is that all of this is happening. We're inside the dealership. We're sitting at the desk of this person. He gave us the printout. He's on the phone, doing business, basically saying, look, this is how much money the car is going to cost. He's taking a picture of it. He seemingly is texting someone saying this is how much, this is proof of how much it is. Then he asked the BMW salesperson, I need your wire transfer information. The guy got up, rushed over to, I guess, their finance area to get the the bank wire information, because obviously you have to wire it a certain kind of way. Rushes back over, gives it to my ex-husband. My ex-husband's like, okay, first thing in the morning, we will get this wired over, and then, you know, I'll come and pick up the car. My fiance, me, will drive me up here to pick up the car. So we leave. He felt like, because at the time that this all happened, I was pregnant. So he felt like, look, we're about to have a baby. I don't want you driving that Nissan Rogue. I want to get you something up. I want to get you something more secure, something new. I really wanted a Kia. I really wanted a Kia Telluride. And he was like, well, let's look at the warranty. This man knew a lot about cars. He knew a lot about the warranty. He knew a lot about the depreciation value. And so he did talk to me a lot about what will we get the most for our money. We test drove, when I say we, I test drove a Kia Telluride, a Kia Sorento. He didn't like either of those. He had me test drive a Ford Explorer. He didn't really care for that. Then came time where he really wanted me to get a BMW. He really wanted me to get a BMW X5. So he took me to...
Well, what type of car she driving right now? Because, baby, honey, that joker is one loud mofo, honey. Woo! It ain't the company car. I'm telling you that right now, child. I don't know what she driving, but she needs to stop. You hear me?
To Global BMW Imports, which, if you know anything about Atlanta, it's off of Cobb Parkway, but you can see it off the highway. I believe 285 is where you can see the Global Imports BMW dealership. He took me there. He had me test drive an X5, an X6. He also had me test drive I think I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, a 525, which was a sedan. I did not like that. I wanted an SUV. I loved driving the BMW. He also had me drive an M Series, test drive an M Series. So he was very adamant that I should get a BMW. The reason being is because, according to him, he had a BMW in California when he lived in San Diego. He had a BMW that he loved. It was a white BMW. He showed me pictures of the BMW. So he showed me pictures of this white BMW that he had, and unfortunately the car got totaled about 2 months before he moved to Georgia. So he had received money, not a lot, but some money to get another car, and he used it to get the Ford Taurus, because he was like, I just need a car that's going to get me from A to B until I get into a house and I'm much more settled. For him, he was like, I'm really giving myself 60 days to get settled here in Georgia after moving from California. But then he met me. Again, that's the story. So he had me test drive the BMW. So much so, I loved the BMW. Loved it. I wanted a dark blue BMW with cognac interior. I wanted an X5, and I wanted an M Series. So I can clearly tell y'all that's exactly the car I wanted. We were online looking for that particular car because not every dealership had it. I was okay with a black BMW if needed. But I really wanted dark blue, and I really wanted that cognac colored interior. So he felt like, I want you to consider all of a sudden an Audi Q8. Let's just see how you like it. If you don't really like it, then we will go back to the BMW. I cannot tell you why he switched up. I can't. But I can tell you he took me to an Audi dealership on Peachtree Industrial. He test drove an Audi, and I test drove an Audi Q8. I loved the Q8. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But I was tired of test driving cars. By this point, I had test driven so many cars. Our weekends were spent either looking at a house or test driving cars. And I was picky, I will admit that. So he had me test drive the Q8. I really liked it. I finally just told him, look, I'm good with either the BMW or the Audi. because I'm tired of test driving cars. He told my family he was buying me a new car because, keep in mind, not keep in mind, let me let y'all know.
The Q8 is a 3-seater though, right? Isn't it Q8? It got like 3 rows. Because I remember doing a Q8. I thought it was a pretty big vehicle. It's like 3 rows, isn't it? For them to only just be the 2 of them?
He had met my family initially on Zoom because, again, we were locked down. He had met my family. He also had met my family in person because at this point, it was like, look, if you're not showing any symptoms, maybe we can do family dinner. And so we had. So he had met my family in person. And now we will go ahead and move towards part 10 of this series.
All right, so before we go into part 10, y'all, what y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? I mean, it sounds kind of a little fishy, but I mean, this guy must have been one hell of a slickster because, honey, he was on point, sounding like a professional businessman on top of his damn shit, huh? I don't know, y'all. Let's see what part 10 is going to bring. She said it's not the three rows. Okay. It's not. I thought the Q8 was the 3 rows. Okay, I'm mistaken, honey. I am mistaken. I thought the Q8 was equivalent to the BMW X7. The Q8, because I remember I was supposed to get an Audi, but the person pissed me off, and I ended up getting a BMW. And that's the truth. This ain't no fake story. But anyway, here we go. She said he was going to put that car in her name. Oh, he was, Tammy. Let's see. Hold on.
Okay, part 10. Who the fuck did I marry?
Yeah, girl. Who the F did you marry, girl?
Okay, had to sneeze. All right, so at this point, I had test driven all these cars. Kias. Hell, he even had me test drive a Nissan Murano. But the main 2 were BMW and an Audi. He had told my grandfather he was getting me a car. He had told my aunt he was getting me a car. That he was going to, he was like, she's going to be my wife. I want her to be in something secure. So my family was really like, wow, wow. Who knew that he had this kind of money? And so I hated the fact that he did that because anytime he got...
He sounded more and more like a Simon Goodbye. What's his name? Goodbye, Goodbye, or something like that. Goobadadi, something.
Around my family, here's another red flag to put in the United Nations of red flags. He would always talk about money, and he would always brag. I never realized it in real time. I didn't realize it until I was out of the situation. He always bragged about the fact that he could fight, the fact that he had money, and the fact that he played football. Those are the 3 things he always bragged about. Back to the cars. So I told him, I was like, pick one between the BMW and the Audi, because you said you buying it. So pick one. So this man chose the Audi. So he takes me to the dealership. I wanted a white Q8. He does give me the printout of how much it's going to cost, tax, tag, and title to get this Q8. Gentleman who's helping us gives him the printout. He's saying he's going to pay this money for the car out of the savings account that's offshore. That's the story. That's what he's saying. So he apparently is asking the guy, is there a holding fee? Can I pay a holding fee to secure this car while I'm working to get the money transferred? Because obviously with COVID, it's going to take long for the banks to transfer the money. Side note, I need everyone to understand, one of the reasons why he was able to get away with the stuff he got away with is because we were on lockdown. It's crazy because it's now 2024, but I don't know, do we all remember how it seemed like a lot of stuff stopped in 2020? Now, keep in mind, that's not an excuse I'm making because shit still got done. But in terms of business as usual just was not happening in 2020 at this time. So when he's saying, oh, it's going to take a while for the bank to transfer the money, the gentleman who was working at Audi he didn't make a face. He didn't blink. He was like, I know it's going to take a while because of COVID. So basically what ends up happening is we leave. He has the printout. He calls the bank, or he calls his financial advisor, who does have a name. The financial advisor's name is Eric. I feel comfortable using certain people's names, especially if we find out they didn't exist. So he calls Eric. He tells Eric in front of me, hey, I need to transfer $72,526, whatever the amount was, because I'm buying a car for my fiance. This is the bank account information. Do you need me to give it to you over the phone, or do you need me to email it to you? Pause. I can't hear what the person's saying, but that's what he would do. Do you need me to give it to you over the phone, or can I email it to you? Okay. All right, give me a few minutes and I'll go ahead and email it to you. All right, let me know. I'll call you back to find out if you received it. Okay, hang up. So I'm hearing this because, again, I'm not paying attention to, did I hear anybody on the other phone? Did I hear anybody on the other end? So he proceeds to type up an email, type up something, telling him this is the information that we need. I didn't think anything of it. He called me at work the next day to tell me that the money was sent to Audi, that he called Audi and he confirmed with Audi that they received the money. What he told me is that the car is going to be delivered to the house. Y'all, it's not that I lived in the hood, because I didn't, but I did not live in an area of Clayton County where you would have a brand new Audi delivered to your house. So I remember saying to
you right, Miss Brooklyn girl. She said she wanted so bad to believe him. Definitely that. Good God.
him, I don't want that car like delivered to the house, not yet, because I need to put that car in the garage. And my Nissan I only had a one car garage, so my Nissan was in the garage. So he said, okay, well, let me call them back and change the delivery date. Can you be home, or can you do a half day? So he's asking me, can you work a half day so that they can deliver the car and you will be home for it? I said, yes, that's fine. Because again, it's COVID. I'm working from home anyway. I only had to go in the office 2 days a week. So I'm at home the next day. He told me the car would be delivered between the hours of 1 and 3. Obviously, between 1 and 3, nothing happened. So 3 o'clock, I called him. He's at work. He sends me the voicemail. He calls me back. I said, it's 3 o'clock. No one ever came with the car. What's going on? And then I remember I was like, well, do I need to call Audi myself? Because I thought that you handled it. But if you didn't handle it, do I need to call them? And so whenever I would suggest I will handle it, he would get very, very defensive. Red flag number 472. So he was like, no, I will call Audi. Don't do anything. I'll call Audi and find out what's going on. Okay. So I'm at home chilling, cooking dinner, normal night. He calls me back and says, yeah, the car was stuck on the truck in Spartanburg, because apparently that's where their deliveries come from. So when he told me this, I was in the kitchen laughing, because by this point, I will be honest, and I told y'all I'll be honest even when it makes me look bad. I was guilty of, on one hand, I believed him, and on the other hand, I was like, let me see what lie he come up with. Let me just see. But keep in mind, my brain was really like not rationalizing, not comprehending how deep the lie was. I just thought that no one told him the car was going to be delivered, and he made that up. I had no idea how deep the lie went. So he said, you know, the car's in Spartanburg. It should be delivered this weekend. The weekend came, he had a whole other excuse. I don't remember what the exact excuse was as to why the car was never delivered. I do remember we got into an argument and I was like, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna get a new car my damn self. I don't even need your help. Which is probably one of the worst things you can tell a narcissist, because they love to be the hero, you know, it's all about them. But I was like, don't even worry about it. I'll get, when I have the money to get a car myself, I'll do it. I don't want to hear anything else about a new car. I don't want to hear shit else about a car. Because at this point, I was spending way too much time trying to figure out, are we getting a car? Are we getting a house? Like, what the fuck is going on? Always there was an excuse. So when I told him I don't want to hear anything else about a car, and I am not going to a dealership to test drive another car, that ended that whole discussion right there. So this is where I'm going to interject what I believe was happening. I believe that my ex-husband is the type of person, he gets off, nut. He gets off on you being excited about something that he knows you will never get. So I believe that he enjoyed going to car dealerships. He enjoyed watching me test drive a car and get excited about it, knowing I was not going to get it.
Oh my God.
It is the level of cruelty. And again, I'm telling y'all stuff that I found out way later on. It is the level of cruelty that I still cannot comprehend. So the whole issue about the BMW and the Audi, I think he just enjoyed seeing me get excited and then pull it away. Part 11 coming up.
All right, y'all. We're gonna stop here. Hold on. We're gonna start 11 tomorrow. So something that she said just now, somebody said one more. But listen, something that she just said. So I know somebody like this. This is crazy. So they get excited to see you get excited, knowing that you ain't never gonna get what it is that they lying to you about getting. It's almost like it's like, that's crazy. Like, they tell you, oh, this is about to happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, knowing good and doggone well it ain't gonna happen. That is crazy. She said, this is a narcissist. I'm telling y'all, they keep coming up with lies after lies after lies, shaking my head. But am I missing something? Did she spend her money? Not yet. No, he's still paying bills, Miss Foxy Lady. He is still paying the bills. He's still taking care of her. He done moved in her house. But you know what I have not noticed that she said? Okay, I know it's during COVID. I got that part. But he ain't visited his kids yet. His kids ain't visited him yet. Like, what's up with that? I don't know. Like, I know she said he talked to him or she's seen him talk to somebody. But you mean to tell me that, you know, she ain't actually seen the kids? Or I don't know. They didn't had they didn't met, then moved in, then had a miscarriage, then looked at 5 houses, okay, 4, and umpteen cars. I'm sure they probably looked at cars, watches, rings, jewelry, all types of stuff. Yeah, the ex had the kids, but I mean, his kids, two of them was his bio kids. No. She said it wasn't his kids. He had 2 real kids and 2 step kids, right? I thought she said he had 2 real kids and 2 step kids. The ex had 2 kids. So neither one of the kids. Oh, I don't know why I thought in one of them episodes, I thought she said he had 2 bio kids and 2 step kids. Y'all sure? Okay. I trust y'all. I trust you because I sure thought he had 2 real kids and 2 step kids. Okay. All right. So they were his step kids. So they weren't his real kids. She said, I heard you say it, but no. Okay. All right. So no, not 2 step kids. I mean, not 2 real kids. Okay. Well, anyway, what in the world do y'all think so far? Do y'all think any level of responsibility should be on her thus far? I mean, I see red flags all on the play, y'all. You know, when she called him in that one lie about that house, you know, which I think she probably called him in a lie before that. She's just not saying that the house was the first one. It probably was the first big one. But I believe that you know, it's some red flags that she intentionally ignored, you know. I think she just wanted to be with a man or something, or she was enjoying the fact that he was paying them bills, because he's still paying the bills, you know. And then, you know, I understand she said he was a VP, but you mean to tell me she didn't go up to his job for lunch, bring him lunch, a company function, nothing? Hmm. So I don't know, but tomorrow we're gonna pick up part 11. I know y'all said one more, but because if we do one more, we're gonna do another one, and then another one, then another one. Tomorrow, she said she was digmatized. And you think that's what it was? She in Atlanta getting her some real, you know what? If she come out and say that other thing, I'm just going, woo, child, I'm gonna be on the floor. But we're gonna start 11 tomorrow. I'm not gonna cheat. I don't know about y'all. I'm pretty sure some of y'all gonna go cheat, but I'm not gonna cheat. I am gonna pick up at 11 tomorrow. Matter of fact, let me write that down. Part 11. I was gonna go all the way to 15 a day and then start at 16 tomorrow, but I think we're gonna stop here and we're gonna pick up 11 tomorrow. Okay. She deserve at least 20%. Remember, he was COVID. But you know what? I believe from the things that she's saying, I don't know. We got to figure out when did they get married and when did they get a divorce. But all this lying, you would think that she could sue him for her time. But I mean, I guess if that's your husband, because he did all this before he wiped her. He did all this stuff before he even gave her, well, not before he gave her the ring, but before he sealed the deal, before she became his wife. He don't even look like no bad brother on this picture, but then, you know what I mean? There's other pictures out there that I could have put on here that look, you know, I guess not my type, but you know, she's Miss Brooklyn girl said he had talk game, honey. He had talk game, child. She said the job thing is in another episode. Okay, we gonna see it. She said, I won't cheat. I like to see it with y'all. Okay, Miss Brooklyn girl, I'm not gonna cheat either. She said, see, that's why I'm single, because of guys like that. Miss Kelsey, you done met you one of these jokers right here to tell you a whole fantasy, child. Put on a whole fantasy. Good Lord, honey. She said 10 in that AM and 10 in the PM. She said 10 in the AM and 10 in the PM. Y'all want to do 10 and 10? Y'all want to do it all in one day, Mona? Good God Almighty. We can't, because people gonna miss it. If I did it like that, people will miss it. She said, yes, he is a narc. Yeah, he definitely is a narc. So we're gonna come back tomorrow, episode 11. Now let me ask y'all this. For those that have seen the whole 52 episodes, is that it? Did she stop at 52? Because I heard he about to come out with his own episodes, honey. I heard that he said that this was, I heard on somebody talk show that he said that this is affecting his money and he gonna come out with his own episode. No, she's talking about let's go to 15. Nanny, some people gotta go to sleep, girl. She said we have 40 more to get through. Yes, honey. He said, baby, it's getting juicy. Mona said, yes, replay. She said, I feel like she was looking for a come up, but ended up learning a lesson. I think that's what you meant. She stopped at 50. Oh, she did stop at 50. Some people saying 52. Okay, she stopped at 50. She said he's more than a narc. But then what episode? Well, don't tell me, because I know it's an episode that he ended up responding to her. But don't tell me, do not tell me. She said, yeah, he said he will be suing her. He can't sue her for telling her experience. What's wrong with him? This America. What is he talking about? She said, the more you did this, you know we love it here. Thank you, Savina. You know, listen, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the breakdown of this story. I am going to do the breakdown. She posted an update today. This year, oh Lord. We're going to find out. We might be a few days late on it because there's a whole bunch of content creators covering this thing. We jumped on it late. It's okay. Never, hey, better late than never, right? We jumped on it. So we're going to pick up 11 tomorrow, y'all. Do not forget. Now, I'm going to end this live, but y'all already know I'm going to come back with my raffle. Those that want to partake can, and those that do not have to, okay? But I am going to come back in a few minutes with my raffle, okay? But let's come back tomorrow, y'all. Class going to be in session at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back so we can find out the rest of what happened, okay? Well, we probably tomorrow and then the next day. So it's going to be 2 more days of this, okay? She said after this, we could do a review of Wendy Williams. Yes. Okay, Brooklyn girl, I like that. We'll do Wendy Williams. I saw a little bit of Williams, so I got to tell you, I cheated a little bit on the Wendy Williams thing. I've seen a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. And then listen, after we finish Wendy Williams, y'all,